What's going on, guys? We are back with another live stream of Down the Rabbit Hole. It is week 5. We're on week 5. Yeah, we're on week 5. Uh, the we're on week 5 of painting each week. I've done 4 paintings so far, so we are on our 5th painting. And if you haven't tuned in before, the way this works is on Monday I use ChatGPT and some dice rolling, and I pick an animal, and then I take that animal and then I try to design something around it, and then use my character. So it's pretty basic. It's not super hard, but another big goal is I'm trying to get rid of a lot of art supplies that I've had laying around for a long time, and I just kind of want to use them and see what they do. So the project as of this week was the Pangolin, or Pangolin, the Pangolin, Pangolin, the Pangolin, which is a pretty interesting looking creature. Um, there's a couple issues. Issue number 1 is not everything's dry. So I started painting the background earlier today because I've been busy this week, and the painting is still wet. I'm actually just cleaning. I just finished cleaning up brushes like a few minutes ago. So that's the bad news about that. So the background's being finished, and over the weekend I'm going to paint this pangolin is the plan. But while we're waiting for it to dry, because I don't think the paint's going to take that long to dry, and then I think we can start on our next steps of kind of figuring out what's next. But what we'll do is we'll go over the sketches that I worked on this week while we're waiting for it to dry, and then kind of go over like how I think I'm going to tackle this based on what this thing looks like. So that's the next step. So 2 steps. So let's jump over into the studio. Make it easy. All right, studio time. Whew. It's like I never left. See, like still things drying on my desk because I was just painting. All right, so let's start at the beginning. Where are we gonna start at the beginning of this story? I do have the ones drawn. Okay, so that's good. So we did the Wolverines last week. I thought it'd be a good idea, so let's start here. Pangolin. Pretty boring looking creature all in all. The skull, first I drew it in the most random, odd pose that it could have possibly been in. This round shape, and this is what they do. They can kind of roll into a ball and keep themselves safe. Their tails are a different there's a different scale pattern on their tails than the rest of their body, which is interesting. I mean, it blends in, but as we'll look at in some pictures coming up here, how their tails work. But his leg is tucked in. I think I put shading here when there shouldn't have been shading. Not as much. Should probably erase some of this shading so that it doesn't look so in, because it's not. It needs to like curl up with the leg. You know, the leg is in front of it, and then the tail starts after, somewhere over there. Something like that. Anyways, pangolin. Cool. Looks like Sonic the Hedgehog. This was the beginning. But they also walk like little miniature T-Rexes. So that was kind of cool when I looked up. Well, they don't have a lot of skeletons of these things. And this is the most poached animal in the world. The actual like scales with this thing are supposed to be like medicinal. But okay, so we did that one. That drawing was fine. And then I came back and the original drawing was kind of, so then I drew the the actual skeleton. And this one was a tree pangolin. This one was drawn from like a tree. They have some large claws, pretty long feet here. You know, tibula, fibula, radius ulna. I mean, probably not called the same, but same basic bone structure as you'd see in most mammals. You know, so here we have the internal structure. Not much of a skull, no teeth. This thing has a long tongue, and it eats ants, sucks it into itself, and then I guess there's a bunch of like spiny things in here that like crush the ants inside of it. It's pretty crazy. This whole animal is very interesting. And then I put together a little bit of a drawing just to see what I wanted this to look like, and I really kind of like the idea of it, of our character being drawn like this. And you know what? I don't think it'll look too bad. I think this is going to be what I end up doing, even though I completely changed the background. But that's okay. Maybe I'll make this one fun. I feel like this one should be fun. Like put a cowboy hat on him. Like it would curl, it curls up here. Or like I need to do my little bit of research on my cowboy hat. And his tongue just flying across at the ant, and the ant like, oh no, and then the beam just barely starting to take the ant from the UFO. I think that'd be fun. Like a shootout. But I did need to move the tree, because the tree when I don't have a picture of the old project, but on the tree it was not what I wanted it to be. So we're going to do some painting today. We're going to just throw some paint into the canvas, see if it sticks. If it doesn't, we'll start over, I guess. But yeah, that's where we're at. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope everyone's enjoying their Friday evening. And then I also drew this one, which was like just to practice on kind of the scales and what they look like here. I really like this body angle, but man, my fan brush looks so sad. Fan brush, you look so sad. Come on, be my biggest fan. You are my biggest fan, brush. I like washed it, and now look, it's like doesn't like me. Maybe that's what the way it's supposed to look. Maybe it's not supposed to be a complete fan. I don't know. Interesting brush. So anyways, we did our Pangola here. Like in any direction this goes, it'll probably look cool. My issue is the background I made is not even close to the background that I had originally thought. So maybe we'll jump into that and see how that goes. Whoops, sorry guys. Okay, but first, let's look at let's jump into the desktop and we'll check out some of these weird looking creatures. Like the baby ones, I hate this. I wish I could switch sides, but it won't let me. Nope. Huh. Could do this. helps me there, but it doesn't help me in the other one. But for now, we'll be alright. Maybe I have to make 2 different scenes for that, so I can cut back and forth. Look at that thing. That one looks pretty dangerous. So that like tail's like razor sharp and can cut like their enemies. It'll like roll on its back. That's the picture I drew. It doesn't look quite like it. Sorry. It has like scales from its nose, doesn't it? All the way back. I think I should just do the scales like an oval shape, and then I can have like a long oval shape. Striations on like the back of them. Like some of them look like they're so small, like the actual scales are tiny, and then like this one, like that's huge. I feel like I don't even know what I'm looking at. But they do have like a mane. Body shape stays pretty just like arched, like a super long tail. This is kind of the perspective I need to draw it in. And I'm afraid of like this area right here on the back of the, painting the underside of the scales like here. The scale's going to come out straight. Like, what does that look like? Is it? I don't know if I understand how to draw that. You know, because the scales come back like this. And there's the one on the neck that like lays flat. Maybe I just have to draw rings around him, probably to give him depth. And once I draw his rings around him, I'll just draw lines and then run scales based on those lines. I don't know. I don't know if that'll work. I don't think that'll work. Like right behind his ear, he's got the weirdest ear. Sorry, I'm just trying to sketch some ideas here. Drop us into the split screen. We'll zoom in more. So I was just trying to like see what his scales would look like. But if I can draw, you know, the curve of whatever I think, and like get a center of the shape, then I should just be able to lay the texture down. It's got the weirdest little, it's got a weird looking ear. Of course, so on that side it would be. So the scales go. It's hard to like tell. This guy, okay. So he's got like a face. He definitely has like a face, and then he's got a crazy loopy ear that like curls. It actually helps him like burrow, I think. Okay. And he's got a pretty big nose because he's a smeller. You can't see that well. Very big eyelid. Circular eye. His mouth is going to be barely open. I think we'll be okay. And these, I gotta take off the cowboy hat for now. I can put it on later. So like, how does this work? This one lays on this one. It's almost like a crown. The one behind his ear starts here. Like that. Like that. I don't know. This is going to be hard to draw. These scales are going to be hard to draw. This is going to be even worse to paint. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this. Okay. But that being said, let's take a look at our background. Maybe I should do it from the side. Maybe I could do it from the side and do like a gun belt and a cowboy hat. Because like this one, but if his arms are too short to get to his gun belt, right? We'll just put a holster in it with like a water pistol. Change of plans. I need to see the back legs because that's going to be important. And then I think they have big claws. But his tail really balances him out. Okay. Alright. Cool. So I think I know what I'm doing. That's good. It only took me till Friday to decide what I was going to work on, so that's great. Only sketched this thing a million times, looked it up, know a bunch of things about it. That's the fun about doing art, is you get to learn about things. Lots of things. And I'm procrastinating because I just got done painting. And I don't want to start again. But that's the hardest part, is starting. Okay, well, then that kind of changes my idea of what I need to do. Okay, We're going to try some experimenting that I don't trust myself with, but that's okay. Because if anything goes wrong, I can only blame myself. So, let's hop fully into the studio. And let's take a look at what we've been working on. I think it's dry by now, or mostly dry. So here, I repainted the whole thing today. I don't know why. I have no idea why. Well, I do know why. The problem is that the writing that I had started in the background kind of really clashed with what I was working on. So like the big spot of like brown that was on this side just didn't work for me. And now I think I'm going to try to figure out how to do what I want to do next. So what I think would be a good idea is I do the okay, now I gotta fit everything. So my original idea, which was anthill. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna do some quick mocking up of things while we're here. And I don't promise that we're gonna get into any painting actually. So if you're here and you're like, man, I want to see a bunch of painting, that just may not happen. So painting, cool, yeah. But I need it like somewhat present in order to do the mock-up. Okay, but I don't want to draw on the painting. Okay, here's all the problems I have. Do I have any solutions? Yes, I do. I'm going to take off this piece and I'll move this here, and I'm going to put this across so I can draw on top of it and then cut the pieces out, kind of work that way. Okay, I did have a UFO, which I still kind of want to stick with this size. Sorry, I know you guys dying to see me, so... Oh, and the chat should be up. Not the scrolling banner. There I am. Alright, so UFO corner, top corner. I need our protagonist. I need our star, which is the lonely ant. Oh no. He's like, oh no, right? And I wanted him standing on an anthill, which would really be ideal for me. And then maybe have like another anthill down here. Needs to be pretty close here in the front if it's going to work out, because the perspective of all this, well, let's see, let's just give that a quick little, see, now you can't see the painting, so it's better if you can't see me. There we go. So gonna just give this a quick trim so you can get like a good idea of like what it might look like. It's nice to have just scrap paper laying around. This is all recycled paper from school. So when the wrong photocopy is made, this is sometimes like people will bend, or the corners will get bent of this paper and it won't be able to be used in the machines. So like, oh, paint's a little sticky. So I'm thinking boom, boom, right? This guy just hitting it straight. So would you rather be eaten by pangolin or abducted by an alien? Is the question. Maybe that's the ticket. I feel like we gotta be a lot closer, or the penguin's gonna have to be huge. Huh. Because now that looks like it's out on the horizon. No, that's not right either. Be just over the horizon. Right. Little green alien. Let's just cut out some crude parts of the body. So I'm just gonna freehand him, just see how this goes. This is gonna be funny. So we got the body shape. Pretty much just weird and round. Not much to it, right? Then we got the head shape that's just like a weird little possum skull, right? Something like that. Bigger than that though. Much bigger than that. Let's make a leg. None of this is proportionate. It's gonna look like a chicken. So we got the tail. It's got like a little T-Rex arm now. Let's make that. Recycled paper time. It really does have like a little T-Rex arm. It's crazy. So the body positioning I want for this thing is like right, and then I want can I just make this out of paper? It'd be so much easier. I can make the scales. So right here comes the tongue. Because he's going to be trying to like get it, right? Before he's probably going to have more of a neck stretched out. I kind of like the hunchback though. They got like a do look to him. Is that gonna look okay? Where does the background start and the foreground begin? I feel like there's not enough room. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Because now I still have like the tail to put in. And like the tail balances him out really. So this tail's pretty sturdy. I mean, it looks like a T-Rex. What do I do? I really like this idea, I just don't think it's gonna work. I can't make it any shorter. I didn't see one of these things with their tail up the other way. You can curve it. Let's look at the split screen. Some curly tails. It's like a rat with a tail. right? I mean, that's what it looks like. It looks like a rat with a tail. That one really looks like a rat with a tail. This one, not so much. I like this one. It's kind of the look that I want. But he needs to be looking up and trying to... I don't know. Well, it's about the same size of his body and his head put together. That's about right. Alright, let's take a look at something real quick. So... I feel like that one's a good size. Oh, it's much smaller than this one. I see. Let me just try to give a quick outline to this and see what we think. Maybe I'll use this one. Okay, not that marker. Whew. Okay, let's give a quick lining in. Where did my piece of wood go? I actually like the other side a little bit better, but we're just going to give it a quick outline. Actually, we need to see where the tail ends up. Or maybe I can draw this one in so it wraps around. Right. It's got the gun belt. I think this is the way I need to go. I need him squinting, kind of. This ear is so weird. I mean, ears are weird in general, but this one is like... takes the cake for being... Maybe it's not that weird. Gonna give it more of a serious draw, see how that comes out. It was better when I was just doing it willy-nilly. Trying to make them look right. It's not working for me. And then they get like huge. So those top ones are going to probably look like that, most likely, unless they just disappear. I don't know, I think I'll be pretty good as long as I can get some of these weirder shapes, but I like this. I don't really know what a gun holster looks like. I'm assuming it's big on the top and on the bottom it's smaller. Usually goes like this. And then the tail that comes around the back side. But we're going to have a leg here. Man, that leg comes out underneath all this shielding. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to put that shielding in there. But like, by far, bigger scales are like much bigger. Like much bigger. And I should really just draw, because there's like lines that these follow, kind of. Towards the back end of him, he's more of an open puzzle. Whew. Alright, but still that, I mean, whatever. That kind of solves some of our problems. We know what we're going to draw. We don't know what he looks like, though. We cut him out. We had that front foot forward. It's probably going to need this foot forward. This is going to be laying on the outside of his leg, because He's gonna need his. He's got like an elephant type leg. The scales just go down like bell bottoms almost. But they're big scales. I mean, he only has like 3 on this leg, and how many rows? Oh man, these are not very fun. Maybe I'll just draw my rendition of him, which is fine. But like this needs to be right, so if he's standing, the bell to come around here. It'll be more like this, and then you'll be able to see the bottom hole. It's going to be coming out. The belt's going to go behind, up and over on this like bump of his leg, and probably have a gap here. And then like just having a hard time drawing scales. Or just draw normal scales and then converted them later. They need to follow the leg line. I need to work on this a little bit tomorrow and kind of develop his character, but I really kind of like this look, and it looks a lot like a dragon there at some point. Oh, kind of looks like a dragon there. Just the rat version of a dragon. Still haven't decided if it's gonna fit. Say we ran it backwards. We're just gonna run a test. So there's my guy. pieces of my other guy. Just didn't work out that well, but maybe I could use his tail. Kind of want it to be a shootout though, like an old western looking shootout. Let's take a look at the studio version. That's not going to help that mountain. Put it in the wrong spot. The piece of paper that I need is so strange. I can cut it out of this. But if I want the tail, like I say I want the tail, which I don't really want the tail like this, because then I'm going to have to draw the tail in the 2D format, the 3D format, and coming around and with scales. So his tail would be something like that. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell with this one what I want to do with it. Such a weird looking creature. And my perspective is so bad. It's going to end up looking super flat like everything. Maybe I have to take another look at some landscape drawings. I just don't know. I mean, normally you would see this from the top. And its legs are so weird. Let's take another look. There's two, but it's pretty much just a tiled cylinder of cylinders and then a flat tail. Looks like he almost has like a pattern on him. That shows you his like pattern. Like I can't even tell which way he's turned. But that really shows you more of his pattern on his skin. But I think if I do some like, just draw some guiding lines in my picture, I'll be fine. Yep. I need to do a little bit more research. This week got real busy with work and doing some other things, so I didn't get to paint as much and draw as much as I wanted to. This is actually a pretty tricky animal to draw. I'm having quite a bit of trouble with just kind of figuring out what it looks like. And the drawing part's going to be tough. The painting part's going to be even tougher. But there's some better look at the scales and kind of the scale formation and how wide they get on the back. I think if I do a little bit more research, I'll be able to like really nail this painting. I just need to take a step back. Like I said, I just finished this background before we started this stream. Wasn't super into it. Didn't really know how I felt about it. Still don't know how I feel about it. Still want to work on the alien, the ant, and the pangolin. I think this whole little strip will be cool comic to add to all the rest of the stories, and I like my paintings to tell a little bit of a story if they can. So this one will be called like the shootout or something, because he's going to be trying to suck up our friend in his beam. Right. And then he's going to be trying to eat our friend with his tongue. Right, so it's going to be like a race. Maybe he's already lifted off a little bit into the air. He needs to be like, what? In the air, I don't know, something like that. That's kind of the idea of this painting. And yeah. Anyways, we're going to do a short one this Friday. We're going to start doing 1 hour episodes. 3 episodes, but 1 hour episodes. So that's 3 hours of painting. A lot of this is brainstorming. I know I don't get to a whole lot of painting just because paint takes forever to dry. And if you could see me, it's a mess when I paint. So I hope everyone's having had a good week. It is Friday. It is the 2nd of February. Hopefully everyone got paid. And now it's time to pay rent. So fun. But that's life. Anyways, I hope everyone has something good to look forward to this weekend and is getting ready to just enjoy relaxing for 2 days. I will be still brainstorming and trying to finish this piece before Monday. And on Monday, we will pick again for the next animal. So this needs to be finished up quite soon here. But I'm going to take probably tomorrow morning and do a little bit more research. And then I'm going to play with a couple techniques. I'll film them and hopefully have a reel for you on Monday. But we'll see. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one. Hope you enjoyed this one and have a good night. Peace.